Cowrie shells. Long before paper notes or metal coins arrived in Bengal, cowrie shells served as the primary medium of exchange. These small, smooth shells were collected from the Indian Ocean and carried inland through trade routes. Their value came from their scarcity in inland regions and the difficulty of faking them. For ordinary people buying grain, fish, or cloth in local markets, cowries were the everyday currency of life for centuries. Mughal silver rupee. When the Mughal Empire extended its rule over Bengal, it brought with it a standardized coinage system. The silver rupee became the dominant currency across the subcontinent, including the Bengal region. Each coin was stamped with the reigning emperor's name in Persian script, which itself reflected how deeply Islamic administrative culture had shaped the region. The Mughal rupee was not just money. It was also a symbol of imperial authority, and its weight and silver content were carefully regulated to maintain trust across vast trade networks. Gold mohur. Alongside the silver rupee, the Mughal treasury also issued the gold mohur for higher value transactions and royal dealings. Ordinary people rarely handled these. They were used in court payments, land grants, and large merchant trades. The mohur carried considerable prestige, and its design often featured intricate calligraphy. It stood at the top of the Mughal monetary hierarchy. British East India Company coinage. As the British East India Company tightened its grip over Bengal following the Battle of Plassey in 1757, it gradually introduced its own coinage to replace the fragmented local systems. Company coins were minted in Calcutta and circulated widely across Bengal. They were designed to look somewhat familiar to locals, retaining some Indo-Persian elements at first, but were increasingly standardized to serve British commercial interests. This was a deliberate economic move to bring Bengal's trade fully under company control. Pakistani rupee. When British India was partitioned in 1947, East Bengal became East Pakistan. The new country adopted the Pakistani rupee, which replaced the British Indian rupee almost overnight. Initially, Indian notes were simply overstamped with the word Pakistan to manage the transition. New notes were printed quickly, but supply was limited in the early months. East Pakistan, despite generating the majority of Pakistan's foreign exchange through jute exports, saw very little of that wealth returned. The Pakistani rupee, as a currency, became a quiet symbol of the economic inequality between the two wings of the country, Liberation War period currency. During the 9 months of the 1971 Liberation War, Bangladesh's territory was in chaos, and normal economic activity was severely disrupted. The Pakistani military continued to control and issue currency in occupied areas. Meanwhile, the Mujibnagar government, operating from exile, issued some currency instruments to manage limited transactions. Ordinary people hoarded, bartered, and survived on whatever means they could. This was one of the most economically unstable periods in the region's history, and currency itself became unreliable. Bangladeshi Taka. First issue. After independence in 1971, Bangladesh needed its own currency immediately. The taka was officially introduced in 1972, replacing the Pakistani rupee at a 1-to-1 rate. The earliest notes were simple by design, printed under urgent conditions. They featured imagery meant to reflect the new nation, its rivers, its land, its people. The word taka itself was not new. It had roots going back centuries as a local term for coin or currency in Bengali. Now it became the official name of a sovereign nation's money. Taka notes of the 1970s and 1980s. The early decades of the taka saw significant changes in note design. Different denominations were introduced gradually. 1 taka, 5 taka, 10 taka, and higher values followed as the economy grew. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman's portrait appeared on notes after his assassination in 1975, and subsequent governments changed imagery based on political shifts. The central bank, Bangladesh Bank, took full responsibility for monetary policy and note issuance. Printing quality improved over time, but the country's high inflation during this period meant people often carried thick stacks of notes for basic purchases, the 1 taka note. The 1 taka note holds a special place because it is technically issued by the Ministry of Finance rather than Bangladesh Bank, making it slightly different in legal status from other notes. It has gone through many redesigns over the decades. Many Bangladeshis associate it with childhood memories, receiving 1 taka as pocket money or using it at small roadside stalls. Despite inflation making it nearly symbolic in purchasing power today, it has never been discontinued, partly for sentimental and practical reasons, commemorative and special edition notes. Over the years, Bangladesh Bank has issued special currency notes to mark significant national events. These include notes celebrating the Golden Jubilee of Independence, the birth centenary of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and various other milestones. These notes are printed in limited quantities, often with higher production quality and distinct artistic designs. Most people who receive them tend to keep them rather than spend them, treating them more as collectibles than as money. They serve as a bridge between currency and national memory. Digital and mobile money. While not physical currency, the rapid rise of mobile financial services like bKash, Nagad, and Rocket has fundamentally changed how Bangladeshis transact. Millions of people who never had bank accounts now send and receive money through their phones. In rural areas especially, mobile money has replaced the need to carry cash for many everyday transactions. Bangladesh Bank has increasingly worked to regulate and integrate these platforms into the formal financial system. The Taka still underlies all of it, but the form it takes has expanded far beyond paper and coin.